Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
That really did get out of hand fast, because this is Thibodeaux Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk entertainment. We're back from the game. Oh, we had a long night there at MetLife. We had the Dahmer. We had Mr. Big El Gigante. We had LJ in the house. We ran into Lorenzo and his wonderful family and friends. What a great time we had on the sidelines last night. What a great time we had on the field. What a great time we just had at MetLife. And it was a giant win to boot. I do want to take a moment before I talk about Kayvon Thibodeaux and Darrian Beavers. And I just want to pontificate. And I wanted to thank everyone that follows the channel, everyone that leaves comments for the channel, everyone in general who has been a supporter of the channel, and even to the people that don't really support the channel and kind of hate me, but just, listen either way. You really felt the love last night in MetLife. I mean, it was great to get everyone together. We had the two contest winners. Like I said, we ran into Lorenzo and his family and friends, and we, ran into a couple other people. It was wonderful, and it just shows that, not only I have some of the greatest people that follow this channel, but I have some of the greatest people who just have wonderful football acumen. I loved sitting there for like 3/4 talking to everybody and just talking about the Giants and having an intelligent conversation about the team and where we're going in the direction. Why we did not agree on all points when we were all together, but you know what? At the end of the day, everyone had a great time. Everyone had a lot of fun. And I just wanted to send out all my love and appreciation to not just everyone that was there last night, including the Dahmer, who I dropped off at the airport at 5:45 this morning, who flew all the way in from the UK. But for everyone that, just everyone in general who really supports this channel and follows it and leaves the comments and makes it what it is, because honestly, without you guys, this is just me talking on a microphone. And I really appreciate it. It was just a flattering night, and I was glad that I was able to sit there and just, like I said, and just listen and talk and have a great time. And then, like I said, I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Let's talk about this game yesterday. You know what? It was an interesting game. It was a fun game. If you were at the stadium, it was even better to watch. You had the scary moment with Kayvon Thibodeaux. It was a chop block. You could say it. That's what it was. Was it dirty? Was it dirty? I'm not saying was it dirty. Was it illegal? Well, most chop blocks should be. But it's probably a play you see 7, 8, 9 times a game. And then you may not see that much into the open field, but you see it on the line. The 49ers were synonymous with the chop block. Can't talk today. I lost my voice last night. But they were synonymous with the chop block. It's a play that happens. And it's a play that happens repeatedly. And it doesn't make it right. I'll tell you that 100%. It does not make it right, but it's a game. It's a play that happens repeatedly in NFL games. If you want to stop it from happening completely, you need to ban it. You need to outlaw it. I think Kayvon Thibodeaux would like to have that outlawed. It was a scary moment because, like I said, we were standing on the field when it happened. And when he went down and he was rolling around the ground a little bit, we saw the cart coming. We all did, and there was this gasp in the stadium when that cart rolled out, and we were just, you just didn't know. We still don't know yet because he's got to get an MRI and more tests today. But he says, "I'm all right, I'm good." That's what Thibodeaux said as he was leaving the stadium under his own power with a slight limp. We're good. Good news. He added later. So we hope that's the case, and we hope that continues to be the case. Now, Moss, their tight end, yeah, like I said, it was a chop block. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. But when he waved off the cart, got up under his own power, and walked back gingerly. I actually have photos of it from the sideline. You like I said, you kind of gasped a little second, then you kind of breathed again. So we have to, Dable said it best. I can't answer anything right now in regards to its severity yet. We're going to do some tests. It's Sunday night, MRI, stuff like that, and get a better idea in the morning. You hope, but you don't have an answer just yet. It looks like to me he's going to be okay. Fingers crossed. Darrian Beavers is the one we need to worry about a little bit more. Beavers also went down with a knee injury. The early word out of MetLife is it is a significant injury. I mean, that's to a young team that needs linebackers and useful linebackers and linebackers that can move. That's going to be another hit for this G-Men team. But we have to wait and kind of see. Let's get the word out and see exactly what's going on. You had Daniel Jones playing into the second quarter. He was 14 for 16 for 116 yards, 7.3 yards a attempt. He had one interception off that Daniel Bellinger. That probably shouldn't have been an interception. He looked good on his one drive, which was, I think, was 11 plays, 81 yards. So that's good. He still had a 70.8 rating. I mean, it is what it is. It's preseason. He had the interception. He had the touchdown drive. So it kind of balanced itself out. Again, I've said this before. I said this at the stadium yesterday. I'm not concerned about Daniel Jones yet. I will be more completely concerned if this happens 2-3 weeks into the season. But it is training camp. It's just disconcerting the fact that so many people overlooked his struggles. But we have to hope the struggles are behind him. We have to hope that drive was a premonition going into 2022. That's what we have to hope for. You also have a lot of people talking about Alex Bachman and David Sills, the battle there. David Sills on that big drive for Daniel Jones, I believe, had 3 catches or 4 catches. David Sills finished for 5 catches, 56 yards for 11.2 yards a catch, total of 7 targets. But you also, have to talk about Alex Bachman. Alex Bachman, yes, statistically had a better game than David Sills. 11 catches, 122, 11.1, 2 touchdowns. Longest was 22 on 14 targets. But there was a significant difference between Alex Bachman and David Sills. Alex Bachman, after his touchdown catch, they kicked off again. And we said this before, and we were saying this at the game yesterday. If you are the 4th, 5th, or 6th wide receiver on this team, you're going to need to play special teams. You're going to need to be playing special teams if you're any one of those receivers on any team. And after Alex came up with the big touchdown, what happens on the first play on the kickoff after his touchdown? He makes the special teams tackle inside the 15. That's what you need to see. That's what you want. You want a guy who can come onto the field when needed and still get that catch, but then he needs to be able to turn around in a moment's notice and jump back on the special teams. I think that, to me, was a more of a telling sign about who can potentially make this roster. I know a lot of people are going to say that Alex Bachman went up against the Home Depot team. He went up against the insurance salesman. But you know what, the Giants, I mean, when David Sills did that last year, everyone was oohing and ahhing. And I said it before. If you have talent above people that are not going to be in the league, you should rise above that talent. I think 11 catches for 122 yards is rising above that talent. Not a big Alex Bachman fan, not a big David Sills fan. But you know what? We still have the Jet game, but if you want to look at this from a perspective that who should start making this roster and shaping this roster? Right now, if I'm doing the Bachman-Sills debate, I'm going to take Bachman. He's going to give you more on special teams, and he's probably going to give you the same amount of skills in regards to being on the field as a wide receiver. So you got to kind of look at it, you got to look at it that way as well. It is what it is. CJ Board had another fumble on a return. We got to fix this problem. He had a good return, but then he also had that fumble, and he lost the fumble as well. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that a little bit. There was, like I said, Mr. McFadden had a nice game with 5 tackles. He was kind of all over the field a little bit here and there. I mean, outside of that, like I said, we basically got no pressure on the quarterback. Dorsey, the cornerback, was the only player to get a sack. So the pressure that we are getting on the quarterback in preseason is still a little concerning. It was nice to get a Quincy Roche sighting. He had 2 tackles, but it's getting a little concerning that we're going our third teamers, 4th teamers are going up to their 3rd team and 4th teamers, and we're not getting to the quarterback whatsoever in this type of defense. Had a Carter Coughlin sighting as well with 2 tackles. He had an interesting game. He moved well on the field, I thought. Is he going to make this roster? You know what? That's up for debate. It's really going to depend on now what Darrian Beavers what's going to happen to Darrian Beavers. So, Tate Crowder also moved with fluidity into the middle of the field, into his linebacking position. He's still a little bit undersized, but you know what? He had a nice game as well. He sliced through the line. He's learning from Blake Martinez. You could tell that how he's putting himself in the proper position to make the tackle. And how he's not getting his Dom loves my favorite. I'm going to decline that. My favorite line that Dom loves. He wasn't getting lost in the sauce. So he was finding his way. He was putting himself in the position to make tackles. I mean, it was a good win. It was a good comeback win. It was a fun win. When you got to talk about Davis Webb, do the Giants carry 3 quarterbacks after his 22 for 27 performance for 204 and 2 touchdowns? Tyrod Taylor, he looked good at times, was 7 for 11 for 37. He just he had a lot of checkdowns going on there, but he moved through his progressions, which was nice. And you know what's funny? And this was the topic of conversation on the sideline. We got the music popping in early, and I don't even know where that music popped in early. Fun. We gotta go find that because we're not done yet. One of the topics of conversation on the sideline was that Tyrod Taylor, you could see going through his progressions before and you could see there was a play where he actually looked like he could step up and run. And he stayed in the pocket. He had an open pocket. It was open for him. Looked like he could step up and run, but he stayed in the pocket and actually completed a pass for good yardage. And it was interesting because we had noticed that Daniel Jones, maybe he's learning something from Tyrod, because Daniel Jones there was 2 plays, I would say, we all thought that Daniel Jones really went through his progressions, really took around and looked around. But I think that's, like I said, I think that's what we need to do. I think that's what he needs to do. I love it because Sam Ochoa came out and says, was Daniel Jones' preseason heroics a glimpse of greatness to come? Let's not get fucking carried away. But you know what? It was nice to see both quarterbacks go through the progressions. It was nice to see Davis Webb go through his progressions. It's going to be an interesting Jet game. There's a lot of bubble guys. We're going to do a video this week about the bubble guys. We probably will do a second video today when we get a little bit more update on Kayvon Thibodeaux and Darrian Beavers. And again, I really do appreciate everyone that was hanging out yesterday. And again, this is Tim the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could subscribe. If you can ring that by the rings, that'd be awesome.